Hello everyone, this is Crypto Maximalist. Welcome back to another video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and get involved if you like the content. So we can see, over the past 24 hours, that the market has had a little bit of a rebound from that pullback that we saw yesterday on Bitcoin. You can see here, up around 3.5–4% over the past 24 hours, back to test that high that it just made a few days ago off that nice little pump that we saw from that breakout. We've talked about this numerous times. You can see quite a lot of cryptos here having a bit of upside today. We've got Binance here up around 7%, probably off the back of the news that they will probably be helping Elon Musk with Twitter to help fight their bots, which would be very interesting to see. And we can see as a result of this, a lot of cryptocurrencies on the upside here. Dogecoin having a massive rally here. You can see up 32% today, up around 80% on the week from around, I think it was around 5 or 6 cents, up to around 10 cents here. So having a bit of a, parabolic move off the back of the news of Elon Musk acquiring Twitter. And, most likely Elon Musk is basically a bit of a high correlation figure, you would say, in correlation with Dogecoin. Obviously, every time that things happen in regards to Elon, we do see Dogecoin having a bit of a reaction to it. This obviously being bullish news for Dogecoin in the eyes of investors. We have seen Dogecoin have a very ridiculous rally over the past few days, kind of driving the market up in general off the back of this news. Elon obviously being very pro crypto in general, we would say. We do think this is a, potentially a nice little catalyst in the market for a bit of upside. So you can see obviously everything else. Solana up 10%, Polygon, Polkadot, Shiba Inu as well, having a fairly decent correlation to Dogecoin, you would say. Meme coins, the big meme coins, you can see this has gone up quite a significant amount as well. Look how many tokens are in circulation. This is a crazy amount. Look at this. Just so interesting to me. But you can see overall the market having a nice little bit of upside over this week and today as well, which is nice to see. Bit of a a rollover yesterday and a recovery, looking like maybe we might see a bit more upside depending on what we see for Bitcoin. If I just check out the Bitcoin chart here, I'm still on the veracity chart from yesterday. You can see basically just we've come back down, retested the 55 EMA, and looking like potentially we might be going up to the top of that range like we spoke about. So the main focus of this video is obviously some of these articles. You can see here, this is the main article that we'll be discussing. Crypto winter risks falling into an ice age. This is by Financial Times. Obviously we all know Financial Times by now is probably one of the most sensationalist mainstream finance news outlets that there is. And basically this is like borderline looking like FUD in my opinion. Let me just zoom in a bit more on this so you can see it better. Crypto winter risks falling into an ice age. Apathy kicks in as asset class fails to pick up after this year's market crash. This is obviously quite a lot of FUD in our opinion, taking advantage of essentially what's been going on with the market. You can see I've got to buy this in order to read it, but you get the idea from this headline here. It is a very sensationalist headline, we would say. I mean, anyone with a brain can see that if you look at all the fundamentals and all the technicals as well, then it looks as though cryptocurrency in general is most likely heading towards the bottom. We've got all that data from previous market cycles as well. We're down around 80% for Bitcoin and Ethereum, over 90% for altcoins, and this is usually when you do start to find that solid bottom. You can see from the technicals quite clearly as well that we have been, consolidating for a long period of time here. Much longer than we ever have in any of these levels, really. Longer than here, longer than this area. And in reality, you can see we are, forming a very solid, decent bit of support from what we can tell at around that 18k level, especially with everything that's been going on in the world. It's pretty amazing, really, that, cryptocurrency has actually held up pretty well in comparison to a lot of things. We're still seeing a lot of, mainstream indexes, etc., falling in value. So it's been pretty interesting to see how well crypto has actually fared in the face of, potentially World War III, all this inflation, all this economic uncertainty, the cost of living crisis, especially in the UK, which I've been suffering from personally. You can see here the Nasdaq stock index in the US has fallen 30% over the past year, but Bitcoin's value has dropped nearly 70%, had a 70% drop over the same period. This is obviously quite misleading. It is technically correct, but we know for a fact that Bitcoin is much more volatile than the traditional markets. If the traditional markets dropped 70%, obviously there would be absolute chaos. I don't think that's ever happened except for maybe in 2008, 2009, when I think was it the Nasdaq that dropped around 55-60% and everyone absolutely lost their mind. The world was in absolute chaos basically. But we do think, you know, stuff like this, it's very sensationalist, isn't it? You got to take it with a pinch of salt. We all know the deal with cryptocurrency. We do see, you know, a lot of, when things are going badly, you see a lot of these sensational titles like this. But in reality, we know that the upside is also very, very significant, especially in the long term as well. Even if Bitcoin goes to $100,000 from now, that's around a 5x. And to get a 5x in the traditional financial markets, you're probably going to have to wait, you know, 100, 200, 300 years. So obviously not feasible. So, you know, we all understand the game that we play. But we do think that this, you know, especially considering that we are near the bottom here, this is a bit sensationalist in our opinion. So more news here. Morgan Stanley says record numbers of Bitcoin have not been used for 6 months. Bitcoin has traded in the narrowest range since late 2020, suggesting investors are holding on for higher prices. So this is something that we have been seeing. Less and less Bitcoin getting moved around and sold. Only a small proportion of the market are actually buying and selling their Bitcoin and trading it currently. A lot of people are holding on to Bitcoin, hopefully looking for some higher prices over the next few years. We can see here nearly a year into the Bitcoin bear market, most investors who bought the crypto in 2021 are facing heavy losses and look to be waiting for rallies to close their positions. Morgan Stanley said in a research report Thursday, Bitcoin has traded its tightest US dollar range since late 2020, despite heightened volatility in other financial markets. This stability suggests that some traders are buying dips below 18.5k to prevent Bitcoin falling down below its previous market cycle high. So this is something that we have seen, obviously that previous market cycle high being a very, very key level and also a very, very strong level of support. A record 78% of Bitcoin has not been used in transactions in the last 6 months, which is very interesting in our opinion. Basically, from what we can tell from this article, people are holding on to their cryptocurrencies more than ever. There's less capitulation this time around in terms of volatility, which is, you know, this can only be a positive for crypto in general, can't it? So Crypto.com trading volume sinks 91% 1 year after brave Matt Damon ad. Bad ad or bad timing, either way, trading is down big. So, you know, just another cold, hard facts kind of article where you would say, you know, because we've headed into the bear market, a lot of people are bored. You see loads and loads of top altcoins are just, their volume is so low that they're barely moving on the charts. It's only really those top 20, 30, 40 bit cryptocurrencies that are really moving in any big way. They're the ones that have got all the volume at the minute. Everyone's lost interest in most cryptocurrencies, and, you know, with less market participants in general, this was obviously going to happen, isn't it? I mean, at the peak of the market, when we saw those, you know, massive, we've got like these mainstream advertisements for crypto and stuff, that's when you probably know that the top is in, and everyone starts selling once things start capitulating to the downside and all of the retail traders start getting in. So, you know, nothing that we didn't already know, being in the crypto space for a long time here, that this was probably going to happen. So UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak wins as the victory for it was a victory for crypto. So this was something that we were talking about in general. Rishi Sunak, whatever you think of him, has been very positive in regards to cryptocurrency. He's a bit of a younger prime minister and a bit more in touch potentially with these new ways of transacting value. You can see here, he's had a prolific career at only the age of 42. He served as a member of the United Kingdom's Parliament, Chief Secretary to the Treasury and Chancellor of the Exchequer. And now he's basically Prime Minister. He's got something else in common with millennial peers. He's a crypto enthusiast. In fact, as a recent Bank of America survey found, younger investors are choosing to allocate significantly more of their portfolios to crypto. Basically, my entire portfolio is in cryptocurrency for the most part. So this is something that we could probably share with a lot of people. The potential upside is obviously very, very appealing to a lot of younger people, especially with the current difficulties that we are facing in the world. We can see here the difference, of course, is that Sunak doesn't just keep a soft spot for cryptocurrencies to himself. Unlike many of his peers, he is actually capable of advancing the industry in entirely new, exciting ways. He has actually been proposing bills which have been going through recently, which is very, very interesting. I think he actually owns a Bored Ape as well, which was a nice little bit of information. But obviously, as we've been saying over the past few weeks, any bringing crypto into the mainstream with regulation, etc., and getting more eyes on it is always a positive in our opinion. And with having, you know, leaders in positions of power that are interested in crypto and basically looking to get it, you know, involved more in the mainstream is a very positive thing for crypto in our opinion. So next article, crypto's new age of kingpins emerge after the merge. Now that Ethereum software upgrade is complete, a small number of builders have more power in the cryptoverse. This is most likely just to do with, people that essentially have large amounts of validators, etc. We've seen before the potential, problems with centralization. After the merge now, Ethereum potentially could be more centralized than ever, with people having, you need to have 32 Ethereum to stake to build to have a node, don't you, to essentially have a say in the network. And this does have a barrier for entry for quite a lot of people. And if people do end up going through, other companies as a middleman to go into pools to stake their Ethereum to get their say, these companies then have, a large monopoly on the markets, which we think this article is about. So the UK has a new name for stablecoins and a new bill to regulate crypto. This is something that we talked about before, but this bill was passed on Tuesday, I believe, basically just to, give crypto more legitimacy in the country, and basically drawing up a regulatory framework, especially in regards to stablecoins. We do think this is all just very positive for the crypto space in general, especially in the UK. More regulation can only be good in the long term, in our opinion, because we eventually need to see crypto becoming more legitimate and mainstream. So nothing bad here in our opinion for the long term, we think. We can see here Twitter's potential crypto wallet and a royalty option at LooksRare. Obviously, a few people have been talking about LooksRare recently, and it is a very, very interesting platform in our opinion. As you can see, LooksRare plans to divert 25% of protocol fees directly to creators, which is very interesting indeed. But we do think, a potential crypto wallet is definitely on the cards. And, considering that he is very, very crypto pro, we would say, it's highly likely that this is going to come through. Obviously, we already saw tips with Bitcoin introduced by Jack Dorsey, before he stepped down from Twitter. We do think that overall, Twitter is going to become very crypto friendly over the next few years. And this is going to be very, very interesting indeed if we do see a proper crypto wallet integrated with Twitter. It's going to open up so much, potential options for revenue, etc. So very interesting indeed. More articles here. XRP is in a now or never state. Here's why. Basically, this article was just talking about how XRP has had a nice little bounce off the bottom. But obviously, it's very, very interesting to see that, XRP it's coming up to levels of key resistance, just like a lot of cryptos. You can see Dogecoin here, no exception. Is this a 200-day moving average? It's come up to test that again here after this long piece of consolidation. If we do see ourselves getting up above these resistances, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the market, isn't it? So a few more articles here. Visa files trademark applications for crypto wallets. Obviously, more and more mainstream adoption. Very, very bullish for crypto in general. We do think this is going to be amazing for crypto in the long term. We all know that it's coming, don't we? We've seen the signs, and we do just continue to see things like this, and you think, in the next 5 to 10 years, crypto is going to be absolutely massive, isn't it? All these integrations, all these partnerships, all these companies that want to get in on a piece of the pie. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how it all plays out. In my opinion, crypto, it's the next big thing, isn't it? Whether people like it or not. And people that invest now over the next 10 years are probably going to be very handsomely rewarded if they are investing in the right things, of course. And finally, that thing that we mentioned earlier, Binance will help Elon Musk use crypto to battle Twitter bots. We all know that Twitter bots are a horrible scourge on the earth right now. We've had so many scammers on YouTube and Twitter over the past few years in cryptocurrency. We've seen it time and time again. If this is something that can be, actually stamped out to a large degree, this is going to be fantastic for crypto in general, because it'll add more legitimacy, less people basically trying to scam people. So a quick look at Bitcoin then, as we said before, essentially looking pretty good, breaking out of key levels of resistance here. And also this key level of resistance here, like so. Pretty sure at this point, we are heading back up to the top of the range at the very least at that 22.5k level. You can see potentially putting in a double bottom here, depending on how things go. If we can come up and retest this level of resistance at 25k, that would be absolutely brilliant. But you can see we're actually getting very close to a nice little EMA flip here, which we haven't had for basically since we were all the way back up here, where we had this little, fake out rally to the upside followed by this rollover. So if we do start to see flipping up, we're flipping our EMAs, we're breaking out of key levels of support. We've got bullish divergences. We've got the MACD basically looking positive in terms of momentum. The overall macro look of the market is looking very good as well. And we do think, overall, if Bitcoin does see itself coming up to this level here and breaking out up towards these key levels of resistance up here at around that 27, 28k level, it's going to be looking very bullish for crypto in general, isn't it? So that's it for today, guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to check out the links in the description below to support the channel. Grab yourself some free money bonuses, and we'll see you in the next video.